What's going on, guys? Jacoborth back here with another video of Jacob's Life Vegas, coming to you guys with a video where Vegas is in the news again, and it's about sports again, and it involves another city that already has a sports team again. So this is something that just came out in the last day or so from our neighboring state to the south of us, Arizona. It came out in the news that the owner of the Phoenix Suns has actually threatened to move the team to either Seattle or Las Vegas in the near future. Now, some of the titles in the article say threatened is the word. Who knows that's what it actually is, or if, you know, the owner just said, hey, if things don't get done, then we're just going to go ahead and move to some other city. Who knows how it exactly was played out, but nonetheless, there's some interesting facts that come along with this that could, you know, have an impact on Vegas in the coming years. And I'll read some of this to you guys, and kind of just a little bit of a timeline of how this thing played out. So in 1992, this is where this all started, because in 1992, the Phoenix Suns, the basketball team, the NBA team, signed a 40-year lease to be in Phoenix. But there's one big caveat to this, is that the team can opt out at 30 years if the building is considered obsolete. And that is part of the problem they're having right now with the building. I believe it's the oldest one in the NBA, or it's one of the oldest ones in the NBA. I've never been to this building, so if any of you live in Arizona, you live in Phoenix, you know where the Phoenix Suns play, tell me if you think the building is really in that bad of a condition. So the earliest the Suns could leave is actually going to be in 2020, because they signed the lease in 1992. 30 years later, it'll be 2022, excuse me. 2022 is the earliest that the Suns could wind up leaving. Now, the reason that I have this issue is because there's a $230 million renovation plan that has been delayed. The vote on this has been delayed, and the owner, Robert Sarver, has told some city council members that he may move the team to Seattle or Las Vegas. And the $230 million renovation, reportedly $150 million of that is going to be paid for by the city, which means the taxpayers, the residents, and then $80 million of it is going to be paid by the Phoenix Suns, which kind of gets into the issue that, you know, why a lot of areas, a lot of cities don't like having stadiums built, because usually the taxpayer ends up having to pay for it instead of, you know, some private business or an individual owner or something like that. The taxpayers wind up footing a lot of the bill. So this is part of the issue that's going on right now. If the Suns leave the city, then the city has to take over operations. That means they're going to have to do all the repairs on their own, because the team won't even be there. So if that winds up happening, you know, they want to keep that building up to date, keep the infrastructure, you know, suitable for teams to play in there, to have concerts and other events in that place. That means the city's going to be footing the bill for the entire thing. So this is interesting timing, I would say, for Las Vegas, because, you know, with all the change in the last couple of years of Vegas, especially when it comes to professional sports teams, you know, obviously the Golden Knights being here, you know, the Raiders, heck, just right down the road here, their stadium being built here in Las Vegas, you know, with talk of, you know, possibly a Major League Baseball team coming here, because there's rumor, remember, that a baseball stadium might be built for a Major League team. Also, the All Net Resort and Arena, several miles up the road here, has supposedly gotten their funding, you know, to start building that, which would have an arena there, which you could definitely put a basketball team in that arena. So the timing is really interesting, I think, to, you know, for Las Vegas to be in this conversation, you know, possibly moving a team here, a basketball team here. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would love to have an NBA team here in Las Vegas. You know, and also when you look at the two options really between, you know, Vegas and Seattle, I mean, I am sure, like a lot of you, think that Vegas is a much better option for a basketball team, you know, than Seattle is. I mean, because one, I mean, let's talk about the biggest thing, okay? The biggest factor, if you move the team to Seattle, you absolutely have to change the name, okay? There's no way you can have a team called the Suns being up in Seattle. Absolutely no way. Not with the weather you get in Seattle so much of the year. I mean, you might have to change the mascot to, you know, the Phoenix, or not the Phoenix Cloud. They have to change it to like the Seattle Clouds, or maybe, I don't know, the Seattle Nimbus Clouds or something like that. The Seattle Mist, the Seattle Rain. I think your mascot would just be a giant cloud or a giant raindrop or something. Like, I'm not sure what you would do. When it comes to sun, Vegas, just like Phoenix, has plenty of sun here. You know, obviously our weather's a lot better. Our weather's much more similar to the Phoenix area. Nevada and Arizona are also more similar, I would say, than, you know, Washington to Arizona. It's obviously a much closer move to have the team move here. You probably have a better chance of keeping some of your fan base down in Arizona if you just move them up here to Nevada. So, you know, I think for a lot of reasons, Nevada makes much better sense if you're going to move a team from Arizona. So that's one of the latest things in the news to come out, you know, in the sports world. is that, you know, possibly, hey, the next few years, the Phoenix Suns might be looking at moving somewhere else, you know, if they don't get the stadium renovations they're looking for, and it could wind up being right here in Las Vegas, which would not, you know, surprise me at all, because Vegas is going to continue to grow, continue to get bigger in terms of the local population. You know, tourists are not going to stop coming here anytime soon, so you have no shortage of millions and millions of tourists coming here every year, some of which I'm sure would love to come watch a basketball game or come use a basketball game as an excuse to come out here to Las Vegas and have fun. So, you know, this is interesting how it's going to shape up for Vegas, especially in the sports world over the next few years. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, especially those of you who live here in the southwest part of the country. You live in Arizona, especially if you know anything about this. I would love to hear what you have to say. If you guys want to support me over on Patreon, link down below to do that. If you guys want to talk to me on Clarity, link down below to do that as well. That's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas.